All right, good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, September 26th County Council meeting. I call this meeting to order. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Rhiannon, would you kick us off? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Flanagan. Councilman Hughes.
Here.
Councilman Cantz.
Present.
Councilman Mobile.
Here.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead.
Present.
President Piper.
Here.
Mr. Freeman.
Here.
All right, Denise, the agenda was posted?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna move to the approval of the agenda. However, we all received an email and Ben handed out before the meeting a resolution that we need to pass before we adopt our budget on Friday. So I would entertain an approval of the agenda with the amendment for resolution 2023-019.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. All right, all in favor? Excuse me,
Aye.
that's a roll call. Roll call.
Councilman Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Mobile.
Yes.
Councilman Cantz.
Yes.
Councilman Hughes.
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan. Present. President Piper.
Yes. All right, thank you. Moving on to the approval of the August 22nd council meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Eugene, was that you, Ryan?
Yes, ma'am.
Second by Eugene, excuse my goodness. Motion by Eugene, second by Ryan. It's throwing me off with Eugene on this side of my,
He acting was like Dan though.
yeah.
Being the first one.
All right, moving on to the transfer and appropriation agenda.
Didn't actually vote.
Oh, my word. Roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes.
Yes. Start.
Councilman Cantz.
I'm so tired.
Yes.
Councilman Mobile.
Yes.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead.
Yes.
President Piper.
Yes.
Flanagan not present.
All right, now we're going to move on to the transfer and appropriation agenda.
Okay, starting off in County General. We have Circuit Court, 138, 106, Assistant Court Reporter, negative 5,000, 722.36. A 106, Assistant Court Reporter, negative 3,000, 344.69. 211, Office Supplies, positive $1,130. 328, Installing Signs, positive $2,534.60. 441, Office Equipment, positive $5,402.45 for a total transfer of $0.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Matt.
I failed to get the notes out this week. Apologies. After finance, given everything going on, so.
Yeah, we've been a little busy with budgets, but all of the, just a smidge, all of the transfers had a favorable recommendation from the Finance Committee.
Question, please.
Yes.
Signs,
Yeah, Emily Anderson, Court Administrator. So when the building was built, there are several signs, 15 to be exact, in the court area that were not put up. So I contacted the sign, it's Hoosier Sign Guy, that did the build. And so that is the replacement of those 15 signs with the installation, so they'll all match. And it's pretty much all of our courtroom signage, so we're missing signs on our courtroom doors. So when people are in there, they don't know where they're going. So we have paper signs up. So I want to get rid of those paper signs, so it looks aesthetically correct.
has it been installed yet?
No, I have to get the approval of the money transfer first.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, any further questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yep.
Can you, elaborate on the office equipment?
Sure. So we have Judge Maywar, who's our new judge, that was appointed in Circuit Court 3. We have to get him a new chair, and that's $4,000.
What?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
$4,000?
I'm sorry, it's not.
Nope,
I'm
get me
messing
a
with
new
you,
chair.
Ryan. No, we need a new podium for our jury trials. So we have two podiums that are mobile, And our jury trials are, usually just 2 at a time. So when we went into the jail build, we thought, oh, 2 podiums we can share between the 5 courts, no problem. Well, the past 2 years, we have had several instances where we have 3 trials going at the same time. And so we, need to get a 3rd podium. And that podium is something like this with a mic installed to, address the jurors and address the witness. And so that is the cost of a new podium.
Podium's 5,000.
It actually was 9,000. I got them down to 5.
Jessica could probably sell you that one for half that.
So it's $5,011, but I had some money in my account still.
I see what you mean now.
Kudos to you for negotiating.
Yeah, it was 9,000. I was like, you guys, I can't pay $9,000 for a podium. You got to work with me. So they did come in and give me quite a discount.
That's significant. All right, any further questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Camp,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present, President Piper.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
you.
All right, moving on.
Okay, we have EMS, 155, line B, 121, negative 4,900, A, 108, negative 2,200, B, 137, negative 4,600, C, 146, negative 27,000, C, 122, negative 7,000, C, 116, negative 3,000, C, 127, negative 3,000, 196, overtime, positive 51,700, total transfer 0.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Any questions?
I have one quick question.
Sure.
I get these are all for overtime. What are these pulled out of? Like, what's the 27,000? I
These,
mean, I got codes here, but I don't know what they are.
these are, monies that'll be in salary lines left over.
Okay.
So the 27,000 one is a medic spot that we had open pretty much the whole year.
Fair enough. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any
I have a
further?
question. Will
Yep.
this get you through the end of the year in overtime?
I can't say yes and I can't say no. So I'm still looking, for other monies, other places, if that's a possibility that we need it, but I just don't know for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Camp,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
President Piper.
Yes. Great, thank you.
Flanagan, not present.
All right,
Okay,
fam-
next, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, I was just saying family sport.
Family Support Division, 237, D, 107, 4D Assistant, negative 6,500, E, 107, 4D Assistant, positive 6,500, total 0.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Camp,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
President Piper.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Flanagan, not present. Okay, next we have Prosecutor 137, A 111, Investigator, negative $11,066.50. B 111, Investigator, positive $11,066.50, total 0.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Camp,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
President Piper.
Yes,
Flanagan, not present.
thank you.
Okay, we have Auditor 126, B 111, Insurance Benefits Deputy, negative 12,119.94. C 111, Insurance Benefits Deputy, positive 12,119.94, total 0.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Camp,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
and President Piper.
Yes.
Flanagan, not present.
All right, we're out of county general now.
Okay, moving on to Ball Brothers High Tech Unit. That should be High Tech Crime Unit, I think. 1195, 393 schooling, negative 7,100. 441 forensic software, positive 7,100, total zero.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Any questions?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Could you just elaborate on what the, I mean, you guys are doing great stuff over there. Could you tell us what this forensic software is? Do you know? it?
I'm filling in for Chuck today. I apologize. I don't know exactly what software.
Yeah,
he's-
Ryan, the
That's-
note
that's
I
all right.
have said to pay a bill for new software for workstations,
Okay,
is what I had in my notes.
It's already been
Thank you.
incurred.
All right, any further questions?
The note I had, all, the Ball Brothers has approved the
Yes,
change.
Yes.
since it's their grant.
yeah, I was more in line to, just out of curiosity, what new stuff they're adding. Seems like every month they've got some cool new stuff that they're adding, they're growing, so
Right,
I was just curious what it was.
okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
Yep, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes?
Councilman Cantz,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes,
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Flanagan not present, President Piper.
Yes. All right, on to our first addendum.
Okay, under County General, we have Communications, 124. D, 101, Communication Tech, negative $2,000. 441, Miscellaneous Equipment, positive $2,000. C, 124, Communication Tech, negative 10,000, 490.08. D, 124, Communication Tech, positive 10,000, 490.08. C, 114, Communication Tech, negative $3,000. C, 111, Communication Tech, negative $1,000. 173, Health Insurance, negative $10,000. 367, Telephone Backup, negative $10,000. 196, Overtime, positive $20,000. 195, Holiday Pay, positive $4,000. Total, zero.
motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. We actually have someone filling in. Megan was gracious enough to fill in for Fred today, because our council rules do say we have to have someone present in order for us to approve or review, I should say, any request. I will say my notes say this is equipment and backfilling of an employee and moving money for overtime and holiday pay are the notes that I have, so.
It also should read total zero on the spreadsheet, so missing a line.
Yeah,
Yes,
we are.
I read it like that, but I had marked it with a pen, so I guess I didn't tell anyone else.
Yeah, I put it in my spreadsheet, so. All right, any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Cantz,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes,
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Flanagan not present, President Piper.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Corner, 133, we have line 242, positive $91,000. Line 311, negative $91,000, total zero.
motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Any questions?
I have some questions. I
Okay.
don't know what either of these are, what they're going from, what the 91,000 is coming from and what it's going to.
So it's transferring from autopsies, labs, and x-rays. We are quite a bit below where we were last year for autopsy money, or autopsies in general. So we're going to move monies out of autopsy fund into operating fund to go ahead and purchase some software for the deputies, CAD, 911, crew force, things like that, Office 365. Some other services for the deputies. That way we won't have to ask for them in the following years.
The reason I bring it up, I was gonna say this anyway, when I see so many of these different transfers is we just went through this budget session where everybody's telling us they gotta have every penny, they can't live without it. We did the same thing last year. They said up there and said they couldn't live without 1,000 here, 1,000 there, and now we walk in today and 20,000 transferred here, 90,000 transferred there. I just wanna point out that, I'm glad that you guys are cashing in your money to share it so everyone's helpful, but, this is just kind of points to what I said. I think there was more room to shave off in some of these budgets. But that's a whole nother story, so I just wanted clarification on what those were. Thank you for explaining it.
Well,
I have
and
a
Gavin
note.
did say we would probably return some of this. We won't use all 91,000. So
Okay.
we'll be giving more back also.
Thank you for
That's what I
adding
was
that.
gonna say.
Is that what you were gonna say, Matt?
Yeah, and I
You got an
mean,
amount?
it could be significant.
Okay.
Well, and that's one of the challenges with like the autopsies, being on council for a while. Like there have been years where we've had to get a
Every
lot
October
extra
come
money
back, yes.
because unfortunately we've had to do more of those and they're state mandated, the autopsies are given, you know, the manner someone has passed, but, things are trending down.
Especially in that category, it's a good thing, right?
Right, no, it is. So there is some fluctuation with something like this, so we're
And you
fortunate.
kind of glossed over it, but you're doing it now, so you don't have to do it next year.
In the future, yes.
Any further questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Can't,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present, President Piper.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Election, 142. We have 212 office supplies, negative $4,000. 225 meals, precinct workers, negative $5,000. 317 absentee voter board, negative $10,000. 315 precinct workers, negative $7,500. Continued on the next page, line 331 printing, negative $2,000. 312 computer services, negative $4,000. 361 equipment repairs, negative $2,000. 313 contractual services, negative $4,500. 442 office machines, positive $39,000. Total transfer zero.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene, and Rick is basically doing the same thing the coroner's office just did, so.
Well, the council also brought it to my attention in budget hearings that, you know, I had requested this 39,000 in next year's budget. And they told me if I could drag together the funds, we could move it into this year, therefore opening that up for next year. And you know, we've talked about the municipal election cycle, easy for me to say. You know, we have to appropriate this money because I have to pay to have an election, but then we do recoup it back from the city and municipalities. So, this year it was easy to find this, and next year's it wouldn't have been. So kind of worked out for both of us.
And you said, you kind of answered the question I was gonna ask you. Is this those machines that were tied to the new voting machines?
These are the new printers.
The printers, okay.
Yeah,
that's-
and
that's
the
what I thought.
printers aren't brand new technology. They're about 2 or 3 years old. But we wanted to tie them to the new voting machines as we implement them. So going ahead and getting this, and these printers are compatible to what we have now too. So we will be using these printers in the municipal general.
Yeah, I remember the conversation, that number is what kind of triggered my memory. I remember that was around that same amount, so that's what I was gonna ask you, so thank you for explaining that.
Rick, the precinct workers, you just over budgeted, is that what that $7,500 credit is about?
Yeah, because we were able to, we were, you know, got to look back a year ago when I was budgeting this. We have to budget for a certain size election, and this election is very small. I've been able to combine a couple locations, do with a few less employees. So yeah, that money was on the books. We just aren't going to have that many people.
All right, any further questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Can't,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Flanagan, not present, President Piper.
Yes.
Just for a side note, if I could, we have one of these printers down in the voter registration office, so if any of you would like to see them. Also, my microvote team is in the basement today preparing our machines for the election, so anybody that would be interested in seeing how that works out too, we'll be glad to show you, and the microvote people will be glad to tell you what they do and how they do it.
All right,
Do you
Thank you.
foresee that they're gonna be available for the primary,
These, the
the new machines?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I did have a talk with Steve Shamo from Microvote last evening and asked him that if the budget went through and if the money was in, that that budget for the new voting machines, could he guarantee me we'd have them for the primary? And he said, yes, if we go to that point, they will get Delaware County in one of the first positions to get the machines for next year.
All right, thank you.
Jail 145, we have line E 127, correctional officer, negative 13,798.20. F 127, correctional officer, positive 13,798.20. D 141, correctional officer, negative 7,287.13. E 141, correctional officer, positive 7,287.13. Total transfer, 0.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes.
Yes.
Councilman Cant.
Yes.
Councilman Mokel.
Yes.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present. President Piper.
Yes. Thank you.
Public Defender's Office, 139. B 155, negative $1,060.85. 171, FICA, negative 7,511.52. 172 perf, positive 8,572.37. Total, 0.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Do you have any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes.
Yes.
Councilman Cant.
Yes.
Councilman Mokel.
Yes.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present. President Piper.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheriff, 129. C 135, Lieutenant, negative 21,788.63. D 135, Lieutenant, positive 21,788.63. E 119, Corporal, negative 10,957.18. F 119, Corporal, positive 10,957.18. Total, 0.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes.
Yes.
Councilman Cant.
Yes.
Councilman Mokel.
Yes.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead.
Yes.
Flanagan, not present. President Piper.
Yes. Thank you. All right, we're moving outside of County General.
Okay, in the lit jail, 1170, 145, we have C 104, correctional officer, negative 9,563.82. D 104, correctional officer, positive 9,563.82. E 115, correctional officer, negative 12,243.44. F 115, correctional officer, positive 12,243.44. Total, 0.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Your printed copies will have a couple lines written in. These are, just for clarification, these are the ones we were talking about last night at our budget meeting,
Okay.
right? Aren't those the two?
I don't
Oh,
know.
you don't have the, yeah, we have them written right here.
$30,000.
Yeah, the 30. Yeah, so there's a, let's see, health insurance, 173. We're reducing by 30,000. And then overtime, 197 is a plus 30,000. So it still comes out to a 0.
But these were the officers that we were discussing, is that correct? You were gonna get with me today, is that what she's saying?
No, this is from yesterday.
Oh,
This
okay.
is our
All right.
like,
That's
yeah.
something else. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes.
Yes.
Councilman Cant.
Yes.
Councilman Mokel.
Yes.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead.
Yes.
Flanagan, not present. President Piper.
Yes. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, lit prosecutor, 1170, 137. D 116, receptionist, negative 6,923.83. E 116, receptionist, positive 6,923.83. C 103, investigator, negative 8,660.74. D 103, investigator, positive 8,660.74. Total transfer, 0.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Camps,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Flanagan, not present, President Piper.
Yes. Thank you.
Clerk perpetuation, 1119. 173 health insurance, negative $5,000. 441 file storage, positive $5,000, total zero.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Do you have any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Camps,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Flanagan, not present, President Piper.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to our financial tab. We have one outside of, in county general, so,
Okay, jail, 145. We have 224 inmate meals, positive $136,000.
Motion to
Total,
approve.
I'm sorry, total, $136,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
oh, changing it up. Motion by Eugene, second by Ryan. I know we've discussed this one a few times during our budget hearing, so do we have any additional questions for the sheriff?
This gets you to the end of the year.
We think so. And this has been added in for next year's budget, so hopefully we won't have to do this again next year.
Just for the record, I know we did talk about it in the budget meeting, so could you just briefly explain why it's increased?
There's only one reason: meal costs have increased. The price that it takes to serve an inmate. When I first came into office 4.5 years ago, our meal cost was $1.42 per meal. Now it's, I think, $1.89 the first 6 months of this year. We serve over 300,000 meals a year, so it adds up. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, any further questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Camps,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present, President Piper.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, the remainder are all outside of county general.
Okay, EMS capital improvements, 4910. We have 441 ambulance re-chassis, positive $51,082. 441 ambulance re-chassis, positive $83,760. Total $134,842.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Do we have any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Camps,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present, President Piper.
Yes,
Thanks.
thank you. All right,
Fairgrounds, 4911. 351 utilities, positive $8,000. 353 water, positive $1,000. Total $9,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Do we have any questions?
This
Sure.
get you to the end of the year.
I hope so. It should. Did you guys have, did you already have that demolition derby out there?
I'm sorry?
And you had a second demolition derby recently, didn't you?
No, it's coming up,
Coming
October
up,
14th.
I was just curious what kind of revenue you brought in. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully you have a good turnout.
Yeah, we're hoping.
Awesome. All right, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Camps,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present, President Piper.
Yes.
High-Tech Crimes Unit, 1195. 364 renovations, positive $30,000. Total $30,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Do we have any questions?
Just confirm this is the build out correctly?
Correct. Lisa Carr, Prosecutor's Office. This is money that has been given by IPAC to the High-Tech Crime Unit. and we're just transferring it to work on the build out, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes.
Yes.
Councilman Cantz.
Yes.
Councilman Mokel.
Yes.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present. President Piper.
Yes. Tongue tied right there.
Flanagan is not present.
All right.
Okay, this is medical inmate care, 4914. This should read line 311, medical services, positive $15,000 for a total of $15,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Do we have any questions?
So I have notes, moving, money collected to pay these bills, may have to come back again. The fund's low and overages would have to come out of county general. And this is only funded by charges for doctors, nurses, site visits, and prescriptions. I guess, I don't know if I asked this at finance, but that's the only money that can be put into this account?
Yes,
Then,
we do also charge, like if we have DOC inmates, any, the Fed inmates, any of those things, we bill those particular people and then we get the money back. Obviously, it's a month late, but those funds get deposited back into this as well. But, yeah, that's it,
so like, and you have to only pay those bills out of this fund?
correct. The medical contract is
Is
totally
that by like
separate.
law or?
That I don't know, I'd have to ask the sheriff if he knows that.
Like, I guess, point being, let's say you had leftover commissary money or something, and you had to pay an extra bill on the inmate's medical care, could it be done that way? I guess that's a
I
question.
don't know the answer to that either. I'd have to look.
Okay, I'm just curious, because I mean, it sounds like we're gonna be up against this by the end of the year, right?
Right, I'm sure I'll be back. Like I said, when I moved this 15, I ended up with 8,000 laying there, waiting on the 15 that was getting there, and I just got some more in yesterday, so. The biggest expense out of it's the dental bills and prescriptions.
And the concern, in my opinion, was obviously we can't collect what we can't collect, because they should be paying, they don't pay, we don't get the money.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
I recall, part of the negotiation with regarding the federal inmates was dealing with medical care. How was that resolved?
We bill them everything.
Okay.
That's
they
how
pay
that got
100%?
resolved, yeah.
Good, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So this is just our folks, so to
Right.
speak.
These are local inmates.
Speaking of-
Most of them are just, like she said, they're just indigent. They can't afford it.
Yeah.
But they're in our custody, so we have to provide it.
In regards to those federal inmates, has there been any increase in
We have 8 now, yeah.
double?
Bam.
Double. Glass half full.
Exactly right.
You expect that to continue just trickling up?
Yeah, I do. Slowly, but I do, yes.
Deal, thank you.
Do we have any further questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes.
Yes,
Councilman Cantz.
Yes.
Councilman Mokel.
Yes.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present. President Piper.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Eligible homestead, 1216, line 310, contractual services, positive 17,126.79, total 17,126.79.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ryan, second by Eugene. Do you have any questions?
Probably should be explained this.
Addressed?
We have ineligible homestead where people, taxpayers will take the homestead deduction, and that's not allowed. It has to be the residents, with a double dip. There's a service, a contractor that does this and finds these people and gives us money back. We take away that homestead deduction. The invoice for that service was paid out of the auditor's contractual money. should have been paid out of the ineligible homestead fund instead. So we're just moving that money, so it can go back to the auditor's account where it should be, and the bill will be processed and claimed through the ineligible homestead fund.
And we didn't catch this, but the next year it'll have to be the same thing, will have to be
Yeah, the person
adjusted.
before me did this, and I realized it wasn't right, so I said, do this, and in the future, do it correctly.
Come see us in January. We'll get it switched.
Yeah, we'll move it.
Yeah.
So why isn't this balance, I don't understand why this balance isn't zero then, if you paid it out of one account,
We paid
should have paid it out of another account.
correctly out of the auditor's contractual service money. It should have been paid out of the ineligible fund.
understand?
So we want to take it from the ineligible and replenish the auditors.
That's just what the bill is.
The claim will be changed. It'll be paid out of the ineligible amount.
You're just putting the 17 grand
Changing the
in the other
numbers,
one.
yeah.
Okay,
The invoice has been paid,
gotcha.
just incorrectly.
All right, any further questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes.
Yes,
Councilman Camp.
Yes.
Councilman Moakland.
Yes.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present. And President Piper.
Yes.
President Piper,
Yes.
back to addendums
Yes.
that you brought up for the lit jail.
Mm-hmm.
I know we had the small amount of transfers on there as far as from correctional officer to correctional officer. However, Becky brought it to my attention that we had spoke about adding an addendum at the end of the addendums, like just manually here instead of it being
I
typed
think that's
up.
what this is, it was written in on our,
Yeah, it is.
our spreadsheets.
Okay,
That's that, because it was a smaller number when we spoke yesterday, it was like
right,
a
just
3,000.
to get
And
through, yeah.
then we decided, Nancy brought it up yesterday during budgets. Maybe you were, writing something down, but that she was going to go ahead and put the bigger amount in
For the budgets.
for this today.
Okay, well, I didn't read it.
I read it.
30,000?
Yeah.
I read it.
Okay, all right.
I could do it again if you want to write it.
No,
Okay.
as long as it's on the record, as long as it's done, she had just slid me the note, and I didn't know if we
Yeah,
really covered that or not.
yeah. No,
Okay.
I read it in. It was the, a minus of 30,000 from 173 health insurance and a positive of 197 overtime.
When you said we talked about this yesterday, then that threw me off, because I was waiting on 2 lines from her today to like switch
Sure.
through on the budget.
Sure.
So I got a little confused.
All right, so we're good.
Yes.
Okay, great. Someone wants to read?
Motion to approve financial transfers and to amend salary ordinance with like reductions.
So move.
Second.
So, motion by Eugene, seconded by Matt.
Where'd you read that? Oh, there it is.
It's on the,
I was gonna say, I thought you finished it every
I
time,
do.
I didn't see that one.
it's
I
right
already
there.
checked it off.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so motion by Eugene, second by Matt. Roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes.
yes,
Councilman Camp.
Yes.
Councilman Moakland.
Yes.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present. President Piper.
Yes. All right, great. So moving on to our ordinances and resolutions. The first item is the Sheriff Commissary Ordinance 2023-18. This is our second reading. Do we have any questions for the sheriff?
I've got one.
Okay.
If you took line 9 out, because it seemed like that was something we got caught up on last month. If you took line 9 out, is there anything that you couldn't buy with your commissary fund that you would want to?
I don't have a copy of it.
And then just to clarify, this ordinance is just so we have something on record, because as of current, we don't have anything on record, is that right?
That is correct. So,
I need to back up because I just realized, do we need to do a roll call to bring this back on the table?
It wasn't tabled, it was just the first reading.
Okay, so we're
So
good.
this is just your second
Okay.
reading.
Just wanted to make sure.
need a motion to approve.
Okay, so,
I will move to approve it.
Second.
all right. So we've got a motion from Bill and a second by Eugene.
no, I think number 9 is, part of that is actual wording from the state statute. And then obviously the DCSO just applies to us. So if it was Henry County, it might say HCSO, but that is, I think that is the actual verbiage.
I'm pulling it up right now because that was my recollection too.
Eugene, basically that statute says there's 9 things listed. The first 8 are specific, and then the 9th one says anything else related to the sheriff's office, the jail, or the promotion of thereof, that we agree on mutually. Yeah, so it's a catch-all. So I believe that's why that language is like that.
When you say we agree on mutually, what do you mean by that?
The county council and the sheriff, if we agree on it and we put it on paper, then I can spend that money on. That's what that means.
So like, this blanket agreement here covers everything going forward, or any additional, expenditure that you want to make out of that fund, we would have to agree on?
No. I don't have to come back. We're putting it on paper now saying, moving forward, these are the items that I'm allowed to spend commissary money on. And I don't have to come back every time I want to spend money. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to clarify.
And then this, I mean, unless amended, this obviously goes, for all future sheriffs also. You know, this will be in effect until it's amended, repealed, or whatever else.
So the state statute says, quote, money dispersed from the fund under the subsection must be supplemental or in addition to rather than replacement for regular appropriations made to carry out the purposes listed in subdivisions 1 through 8, which are also in this, which are in the statute, obviously, but also in the ordinance, which I believe are the first 8 in there. So it's coming from, it's a recapitulation of what's already in the statute, number 9.
That's the word I was going to use.
I'm sure it was.
It's right on the tip of your tongue, wasn't it?
Do we have any further questions for the sheriff? All right, hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Cantz,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present, President Piper.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up is Resolution 2023-019 that we received via email and then have printed copies here today. This is a resolution of the Delaware County Council for reduction of funds. This covers all of those givebacks that we went through during our budgeting process that some of the departments were able to provide for us from their 2023 budget to help with essentially reductions going into our 24. We need to approve this before we adopt our budget, so Ben
Motion
was
to
very.
approve resolution number 2023-019.
Second.
Motion by Eugene, second by Matt.
Sure.
Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Cantz,
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present, President Piper.
Yes.
I'd like to thank everyone who worked hard on this, and those that aren't here, a big thank you as well. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, second that.
As
That
I
was a
got
good team effort.
a late email from Tanya that then was a late email to Ben telling him he had homework for today. So thank you for getting that all sorted out for us so quickly. Next up, appointments and committee reports. I know we have a update, our council rules are back up on the table today. Do we have any question? We need a motion to approve these, or can we just?
Be a motion to approve,
Okay.
yes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Eugene, second by Ryan. Do we have any further questions on the council rules that we discussed last month?
Is everybody clear on the changes or updates?
Well,
On the
could you
dates?
refresh me on it?
The change, which was brought forward by Eugene was, the timing for getting the materials to the members of the council for the meetings actually would have required communications to come over the weekend, which we didn't think made a lot of sense. So we changed it to be the Friday before, your regular your regularly scheduled meetings. That way, nobody was required to be doing homework over the weekend. That was the change.
That seems completely reasonable. I have a question. Does that affect finance meetings being on Thursday in any way? Okay,
All right.
thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, that was a good catch on Eugene's part.
You don't work weekends.
It's harvest season. He's working weekends.
Right?
Roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Cantz.
Yes.
Councilman Mokel,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead,
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present, President Piper.
Yes. All right, does anyone else have any committee reports to share? Cool. All right, new business. Today we have Gordon Advocates, Inc., with Josh Longnecker here to speak to us. Welcome.
Thank you, President Piper and ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the chance to be on your agenda and come back and give you an update. It's actually Guardian Advocates, and my name's John Longacre. I'm definitely accustomed with a name like Longacre, having a lot of different monikers there. But if I may approach, I've got a handout that'll kind of summarize what I'm going to talk about, and also a business card.
Fantastic, thank you.
Sir?
So Guardian Advocates is a 501c3 corporation here in Indiana. We founded it in 2018 in Masson County, and we expanded to this county, Delaware County, as well as Grant County last year. And you may recall that I had my sidekick, Linda Johnson, who's our development coordinator with me, and we were so blessed to receive a $10,000 donation from the commissioners and council for our support of our program. The program is providing guardianship services, and we do that through the local Delaware County courts. As far as how we're structured, we have a main grant that's from the Indiana Supreme Court. And the program that is providing is a VASIA program, and that stands for Volunteer Advocates for Seniors and Incapacitated Adults. We always joke that we're kind of like the CASA for adults. And so we are that person that can come along and help an individual that doesn't have family. So we do have an active board of directors, a staff of 7 individuals. 4 of those are case managers. We have an accountant. We have here with me Amber Longacre. She's the executive director for this division. We've also expanded to 5 counties to the west. They previously were a VASIA program under Area 5 Agency on Aging, and they requested to join our organization. So to say that we're busy, that's an understatement. But I'll tell you, we're so pleased and thankful for the support you've given us, because with that money, we've been able to increase. With the program starting out, we had no clients. And now we have served 25 clients. And you can see at the bottom of the handout I gave you, I've set out a chart that summarizes Delaware County, a column for that, as well as the other 2 counties. And when it says all counties, that's, of course, adding up the 3 counties. Just an explanation, in the first row there where it says appointed living, the first number would be what it was in 2022, last year, 0 clients. And now we currently, actually, we've grown since this was made out, but at the time in July, 1st of July, we had 16 clients. We had 3 that we've already served, 1 that moved, others that improved, and then we also have pending cases. But we provide this service with a model much like CASA, in that we have staff that goes and visits the individuals, but we also match them up with volunteers. And these would be volunteers from the community, And they're required to give us a year commitment and to go out and visit monthly. And what is it that we do? Well, if you've never been a caregiver or had a family member be a caregiver, it's probably hard to appreciate what we do. But basically, if you have filled that role, that's what we do. We don't provide direct care for the individuals, but we make sure that they get the care and the services and things that they need. So for instance, we'll get referrals from adult protective services, from law enforcement, from IU Health Hospital, with individuals that don't have any family, they don't have anyone in place that can consent, and they don't have someone that can protect them and advocate for them. Many of our clients have been victims of abuse, neglect, self-neglect, and financial exploitation. We have in this budget for this year have received from Delaware County a total of $15,250, and that amounts to 16% of the money raised. And as it turns out, 25 clients that we've served in Delaware County, that's 18% of our total clients served. So we're right on the mark. I realize where you're at in your budget process. I also realize in having conversation with Commissioner King that there's some big projects going on and you may not be able to provide us the support now, but certainly would be grateful if you would consider finding some money in the budget or maybe perhaps the second half of 2024. That VASIA grant, that's a matching grant, it's not designed to run our program. It's $75,000. Our budget this year was $155,000. Next year, by adding a case manager and also a position for volunteer recruitment, we're looking at a budget of $230,000. So quick math with the VASIA grant and also the city of Anderson providing $55,000 through an ARP grant, we still have about $100,000 to raise. And we have local donations and other donations that, were in the works, Ball Brothers Foundation and others. We have received support from First Merchants Bank and from the sorority Phi Iota Xi as well for this year already. And I wanted to end with, just to give you a sampling of the type of clients that we've had and what we've done for them. So for instance, we do have younger adults. Our younger adults are individuals that are actually either disabled or have been developmentally disabled. And one of our individuals, I'll just call him NG, he was cared for by his mother. The parents were divorced. She unexpectedly passed away. And so he had no one. It turned out that his advocates at the time thought that perhaps he could get reunited with his father that's here in Delaware County. So that move happened and the courts wanted to get a substitute guardian. So that's what we're doing for him. We had an older lady who was still at home, reports of leaving cigarettes, still lit, about burning down the house, not taking care of her animals, really not doing well at all. And so we got a report through APS, through her caregivers, that she needed to go to a facility. Now, oftentimes we do have clients that are living in the community and we have them go to a facility. And it's remarkable the change. They've gone from poor health and just difficult situations where they're having issues where law enforcement is called multiple times, multiple trips and readmissions to hospitals. And those things end up reducing and sometimes being eliminated altogether when we're able to intervene. Of course, we have quite a few clients that are seniors that have dementia. And again, a dementia patient that does not have family, that that person is probably about the last person in line to get care at the facility. But we visit and we engage the staff, and so as a result, we advocate and they provide. We have a tagline, you can see it around the logo we have there. Our main goal is to protect, advocate, and support our clients. So at this point, again, if you can find some ability to support us for 2024, we'd sure appreciate it. And at this point, if anyone has any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Do you guys work in conjunction with the ARC Foundation also?
No, but we do have interaction with them because oftentimes our clients, about 98% of our clients are on Medicaid, they're indigent. And if they receive some money or some money accumulates, they will lose their benefits. So oftentimes we'll have that put into a special needs trust with ARC of Indiana. That's something that can be set up for an individual, whether they're under 65 or over 65, and they're a great partner for us to do that. Yes.
Do you guys, partner in any way or work in any way with, other adult services such as like Hillcroft or Cars or anything, or is that a different type of business?
We do,
Or service, I should say.
yeah, in the sense that they're a service provider for many of our clients.
So you do work kind of hand in hand with them?
Yes, yeah, because we have clients that are in the community, in group homes, and of course, that's where many of the clients that they serve are housed.
Do you have any further questions? I appreciate you taking the time to come and present this to us. We have a relatively newish council, so this is all new information for the majority of the folks up here.
Well,
so.
I tried to cut down the line to not bore you with things I said last year, but also, remind you and give you an update. Again, this money you provided us, it's going to good causes, changing lives. I always say small things can make a big difference in these folks' lives. And, again, if you've ever been a caregiver, you know what that involves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, great. Moving on, we have elected officials and department heads. Anyone? Nope. Great. On to public comment. I have one signed up. Katie Wolf with the Muncie Animal Care and Services. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing great, I think. How are you?
It's going to be a good day.
All right.
So I am the superintendent out at Max. Have been there for almost 2 years. And this is just my first opportunity to come and speak with all of you, kind of explain to you what we do, what our role in the county is. Some challenges that we are facing, but some successes that we've also had. I did bring a copy of our August stats for you guys to kind of take a look at.
Thank you.
So for those of you that are on the county council that don't know, Max is a city department. So the bulk of our budget does come from the city. However, the county does provide $150,000 annually for the running and care of the animals at the shelter. That is about 10% of what we spent last year and what we are projected to spend this year. As you can see, in August alone, we took in 244 animals. For September, I checked the number this morning, we've taken in 228. So we're on track to probably take in the same amount. But our adoption numbers are very, very low, which means we have some long-term residents, some cats and dogs that have been with us a little over a year. And that kind of environment, as clean as we do keep it. I have a remarkable staff who work their pun completely intended tails off to care for our animals. In this week, count the last 7 days as a week. We have had 50 cats brought in. 18 were from a hoarding situation in a trailer park, so that was one trailer, and that was the cats that we could catch. So there were some that escaped through a hole in the side of the trailer, but 18 came to us and had to be treated immediately. So far, a rescue has only spoken for 2 of those. Because there is not accurate contact information for the resident of the trailer, there's not a lot that we can do in terms of citing or trying to recoup any fines, any monies from this person for the care of these animals. And they were everything from a 4-year-old mom down to 6-week-old kittens. So that's a lot. That's a lot for shelter staff to take on. Because if mom is healthy but not nursing, somebody still has to try to bottle feed or encourage those kittens to eat. Yesterday, we had 15 kittens brought in different groups, all of which were under 4 weeks old. So those are bottle feeders. And that's an incredibly arduous task because they have to be fed every 3 hours, usually with a syringe or a bottle and one at a time. So those are challenges that we face, but it's kind of everywhere. Every shelter in the nation right now is facing overcrowding. A lot of our dogs are, 2 to 3 years old. So if we think about what was happening 2 to 3 years ago, puppies sounded like a really good idea. Now, I can't say for certain that that's where all of our dogs came from, but running at large dogs don't just appear out of nowhere. Especially if they have good manners and appear clean. So yes, that is a challenge, but I would encourage and invite all of you guys to come out to the shelter. I don't know that any of you have had an opportunity to tour our facility, see what we are working with. We are housed in one of the old jails, so everything is concrete, or cement, or some other sturdy material that does not always make it feel like home for our animals. So we do go through a lot of blankets, sheets, towels, anything we can to kind of cushion the floors and the crates. We have animals housed in every room of our building except for our public restrooms. So yes, we are looking for any help we can get, whether that's adopters, fosters, fosters especially, gives us a really good insight as to what the animal is like outside of a shelter setting. We can find out if they truly don't like cats or if they just don't like seeing cats in cages, which is a very big distinction. An animal who is very shy and in the back of the kennel, once they're out of that kennel, they're the most loving dog ever. But we're not going to get to see that. That's where our fosters are so, so important. And we all understand foster fails. We've all taken in that dog or cat and just said, I'll just keep it for a couple weeks. I'll get it back healthy and I'll find another home for it. And then it becomes ours. Yeah, it happens. It's happened to me twice already in 2 years. So yes, I've told people before, and I will say this as long as I am tenured at the shelter, this is the hardest, best job I have ever had. You guys can see on your spreadsheets, we maintained a 98.52 live release rate in August. And with 244 animals coming in, we definitely consider that a success. We are proudly no kill, which does not always mean no kill. If a veterinarian or a behavioralist says this animal cannot be adopted and it is suffering, then we will make the best decision for the animal. It is very, very hard, but it can very much be a blessing when that animal is no longer in pain. But that's what my staff carries home with them some nights is we did everything we possibly could, and there was nothing left we could do. So whatever prayers you guys say, if you could remember my staff in those, this is a very, very emotionally and physically taxing job. And it is very hard to find people who are going to be in it for the long haul. Lots of people think it's just petting puppies and kittens. And if it was just that, it would be awesome. But it is not. It is recognizing when a dog or cat's behavior has changed over the last couple of days. And okay, is that environmental? Is that physical? You know, have they been to the vet yet? Did we change food? Because food is so expensive now that we're finding other avenues and distributors. Our food costs have increased 30% over the last year, which we can't control. Neither can you guys. It's just the way it is. So that was just me kind of talking about what I love. I didn't ever think animal care was going to be a passion and a profession, but I can't imagine anybody else working with my team.
I appreciate you coming and providing this information to us because we don't typically see this kind of data. So thank you for that. And I appreciate the invite to come out and check out your facility. Do we have any comments, council? Are we good?
I have a quick comment.
Yeah.
First of all, I again, also want to thank you for coming out. We do have an interlocal with the city, and we don't really get we never really get any feedback about what that interlocal, you know, this is my third year on the council. I've never had anyone from the animal shelter come and kind of give us an update. So we appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
Second thing is, before you was the director, the previous director, I actually did tour the facility. Ethan invited me out there, and it is pretty neat to see. If you've not went out there, I would encourage everyone to do that. It's very eye-opening. I had no idea about a foster system. They have a room if you want to, you know, you're considering playing with it or adopting a dog, you can like play with that dog for a couple hours in the room and see if that dog like, you know, bonds with you or whatever. So they're doing a lot of good things. They had dog food and everything stacked to the ceiling in different rooms, but it is a very cold and anti-cozy setting. So, I appreciate you reminding us that. I'll do my best to encourage anyone who has any blankets or anything that they could donate, that you're a facility that takes those types of donations. Because I've been there and I didn't even think about that. So, yeah, I just wanted to tell you thank you for coming in and kind of refreshing all of our memories on this. And thank you for keeping it no kill. I know that's important to
Very
the
much.
majority of the community.
Yeah, we'll never go back.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming. We do appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. All right, moving on. Comments from the council. Do we have anything?
I have one thing.
Sure.
I didn't bring it up yesterday, which I failed because I forgot, and then we had a lot going on. Relative to, and this is just a statement, I guess, more than anything else, because there's really nothing to be done about it now, but relative to the court order that we received from Judge Cannon, and based on the feedback that we, some of us received, I'm not sure if everybody got it, but, you know, I talked to multiple people. I know that Senator Alexander, Representative Prescott were involved, I think even Representative Roway. I know Ben was involved. We got weigh-in from the Attorney General's office, that there was significant conflict with what the order that was presented to us, and most likely would have resulted in potentially the ability for us to, at a minimum, probably take a deeper look at what that order meant and whether or not we really needed to listen to it, I guess, for lack of a better word to say. And that, you know, in hindsight, I would have definitively reconsidered voting for that increase to the court administrator salary in that capacity. Not that we would have taken anything away from her, but just that I think the order was not sustainable, so to speak. So I meant to say that yesterday on behalf of anybody who's approached me about it, which have been quite a few. I do think that we probably had some legs to stand on. However, fiscally, it may have still cost us money to argue that point, but I do think that it was sort of a bad faith argument from the beginning, so I wanted to point that out.
Have any additional council comments?
I'd like to, on behalf of the council, this is obviously, as you all know, my first go-around. I have been so impressed with the folks that have come up from the different departments, their ability to address many of the issues that we had for you. I don't know what, I guess I don't know what I should have expected, but the amount of knowledge and, the ability for you to really elaborate your budget, your concerns, was really heartfelt to me. I really, again, didn't know what to expect, but I was deeply impressed with all of you and, your presentation, and I appreciate that. Tanya and Becky, you did a yeoman's job, and we certainly appreciate all of your efforts as well.
Touch base a little bit on what Jim said, and Councilman Whitehead mentioned it a little bit ago about the team effort, the collaborative team effort that everybody kind of jumped in. Everybody knew the assignment. Everybody understood what the goal. Find any excess money you can and let's work together to pool it all together so we can help each other out. And it wasn't typically these budgets, there's only a handful of departments who really have that kind of money, revenue to do that. But when I look at this paper that we got, I mean, there's department after department after department where everyone chipped in their bit that they could to help, giving back whatever it was that they found at that moment. And maybe there's more to be found, who knows? But in that moment, they quickly found that amount, and that is to be commended. To Jim's point, you know, budgets can be pretty stressful. We got 5 out of 7 new people up here. We have a new auditor. We have a new treasurer. Tanya's doing her position. We have all people doing this for the very first time. With that being said, you know, still come out okay. Touch just a little bit on what Matt said. I'm glad to hear you say that, Matt. I was in agreement with that as well. Not really sure what can be done about it now. We've already hit the gavel, so, but I'm glad you put it on the record, and I agree with you on that. So I just wanted to acknowledge that and tell everybody, all your teams, all your departments, thank you. And for those who didn't get any raises, it's in no way a reflection of the efforts you put forth. We recognize how important you are to the Delaware County team. So hopefully next year's a better year, and everybody can be rewarded similar to last year. That's all I have to say.
I think just in my conversations with council members and even department heads, it was a tough budget, but I think we're all proud of how we all worked together and came together and treated everyone with dignity and respect, and were kind, and it could have got pretty heated and tough, and we knocked it out. If anyone takes the time to watch like the 30, 40 hours worth of content, I think you'll see the same thing. But I'm also very proud of everyone and what we were able to accomplish, so thank you. With that, I want to remind everyone that budget adoption is this Friday, September 29th at 3 p.m. in this room. And then our next meeting is Tuesday, October 24th at 9 a.m. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion from Eugene, a second from Matt. Roll call, please.
Councilman Hughes.
Yes?
Councilman Kent.
Yes.
Councilman Mickles.
Yes.
Councilman Webb.
Yes.
Councilman Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilman Flanagan, not present. President Piper.
Yes. All right. Thank you. We're adjourned.